Hey, good morning. We are live. This is Justice's Waiting Room, a daily live podcast. Again, I say we're live, but we're also a live podcast where we discuss news and politics. Want to see some dubs. First things first, and every day until they are held accountable. The President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, his wives, their children, his best friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and his best friend's wife, Ghislaine Maxwell, ran an international sex trafficking ring in which the president, Donald J. Trump, raped underage women. And then, of course, the event something happens to me, you are to continue to say the same and continue to speak the truth to power. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm just letting you all know, in addition to what I started the show saying, uh, yesterday Donald Trump boasted about a 250% tariff on pharmaceuticals. And as someone who worked in the healthcare for years, my wife works in healthcare now. That's eugenics. That right there is absolutely just God, and that's the people that vote for Donald Trump too. Um, Overwhelmingly. Um, make sure you're stocking up. And I'm unsure what to even tell you to stock up on, but tariffs are coming on. Then obviously here's a leaked memo from Keg's Breath where he's talking about years long deployments for U.S. soldiers on American city streets. By the way, yesterday I spent my day off with my best friend down at their place. They have a dog. Um, she said tariffs tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Gabby said, but Jared, drug prices are down 1,500%. So a 250% tariff means we're still getting 1,250% off. Duh. Yep. You know what the craziest shit in the world is? Is you run into somebody on like Medicare and Medicaid, right? And all of their medications free. But one drug, because it's not covered and it's like a post cancer drug. And I'm like, how do you pay for that? And they're like, I don't. I have a research grant that they mail me that drug, and then I have to go to the doctor every month and they do tests on my blood and it show how it works. And I'm like, oh, you're being used as an experiment. Like that's awesome. Okay, but yeah. So, what do you think? Yeah, went from 1,000. Just so you know, that's not a thing. There's no such thing as 1,000%. Hmm. Yep. Anything in excess of 100%, and uh, you got to change the metrics. Stocking up on detergent and coffee. So my wife and I buy a 5 gallon drum of laundry detergent every year, and you get a 5 gallon bucket for free. Comes with a little pump on the top. Smells good, and you know you only have to buy one a year. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like 20 bucks. But yeah, one of the things that I'm seeing that we gotta keep talking about. I get my drugs and a check for taking something. They pay me. Yeah, my wife's sister's kids' high school sells that detergent as a fundraiser every year. Truck truckloads of detergent. Mhm. Well, understand, Donald Trump doesn't have the power of the purse and the ability to lay these tariffs. And every single instance so far, he's lied about the results of tariffs and the prices that have changed are not as a result of tariffs. They're a result of the threat of tariffs. So I just want to continue to point out that the U.S. does not have the infrastructure in place to collect tariffs. And Donald Trump has not improved port infrastructure in order to support the collection of tariffs. What is happening is companies are just upping their prices. Yeah, it's called price gouging. Hmm. There's a reason I'm not a capitalist. Yeah, better option than selling rolls of cookies. Yes. Yep. See, kids are growing up and they're not tied to brands like they were when I was a kid. I mean, think about this. I am a Nike kid. I'm a Jordan kid. You don't got to worry about me wearing nothing the fuck else, right? But most people, they wear all kinds of brands all the time, everywhere they go. And not that Nike's better, although they did sign Colin Kaepernick to a $35 million contract after he got blackballed from the NFL for kneeling during the national anthem at the behest of an Army Ranger that he sat with before that and asked how to respectfully uh, protest during the national anthem. His name is Nate Boyer. hmm And I want to remind everyone that when you're winning, they let you do whatever you want. But he was not in a winning part of his career. He was kind of middling as a quarterback. And the 49ers, who I'll never understand how someone's a fucking 49ers fan, the 49ers effectively kicked him off their team. So again, I'm not one of those people that's like a bootlicker and I'm like, oh, Colin Kaepernick was the fucking MVP candidate the year that he got kicked out of the league. Nah, he was like pretty middling. Um, but nobody deserves to go out like that. Yeah. The threat of tariffs is just the ability of companies to price gouge. Remember, Donald Trump's friends are in big business, and you think that they're not arbitrarily raising their prices and telling Donald Trump, keep telling him you're gonna lay tariffs. Yeah, yeah, big mean tariffs, Don. Yeah. What it does is it forces people to into a fear-based decision-making mindset. Remember, I've tried to tell you that cruelty and chaos are the whole objectives, and that remember, Donald Trump's Gestapo, his ICE. ICE doesn't have real bullets in their guns, and they also don't have real warrants. They're using what are called administrative warrants, which means that ICE makes their own warrants up. And they're also arresting people at their hearing, which would kind of defeat the purpose of immigration, right? Existing in the first place. Like, what the fuck is the point of ICE if the court exists where you can do it non-violently? And I want to continue to remind you that Donald Trump is doing all of this to distract you. All of this to distract you. Yep. I want to make sure that we point out that working for ICE is not service. Zeke, every man dies. Very few truly live. Colin Kaepernick is fucking living, man. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He stood up when everybody else bent their fucking knee and kissed the ring and licked boot. They'll never remember anyone else on any of them 49ers fucking teams. None of them people. You don't know none of them people. Frank Gore. He played for the Colts. Um, but yeah. Yeah. Tons of businesses are going to close down. Hey, move to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is one of the fastest growing cities in the Midwest. You could come be my neighbor and probably not die of heat related injuries. Probably. I said probably. But I can't help you if you're in Tornado Alley, right? I can't help you if you're out west, you know. It's like 20 fucking 12, man. It's like the goddamn movie. There's a small airport near my house, you know. If we need to really like make it pop, hey, you can get us out there. I can fly. Good to go. Ooh, man, maybe I'll have to get a plane and get my pilot's license and make sure that we have an escape aircraft. By the way, there is a pretty new TV show called Arcane, which is the League of Legends lore. Um, don't play League of Legends. There's a new game coming out, a card game. It's the League of Legends TCG. It's really good. That's gonna make a zillion fucking dollars because they got IP for days, and that game's gonna crush internationally. And now that I think about it, um, so yeah, I look forward to the world being introduced to the League of Legends TCG that comes out. Hmm. not Legends of Runeterra in paper. That is not a paper game. But what they did was they took the cards and powered them up and put out a game. I got to play it yesterday. They started handing it out at Gen Con. Hmm. Like I was playing a game. I was playing a game yesterday where the cards all said sample. So they're still playtesting it. But yeah, we have tons of conventions here in Indianapolis. You can root for the Pacers and the Fever and the Colts with me, or don't. But I can't guarantee your safety. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's too funny though, right? Like it really does feel like I wake up every day. And there's this subreddit. Uh, some I can't remember what it's called, but it's like every day's a disaster. And you see, I watched this morning, and I don't know when it's from, but I watched a downspout take out an entire Indian village. And when I say downspout, I would call it uh, like a breaking of a dam leading to like an increased flow of water down a waterway that was empty. And now it's got way too much water in it, and it took out an entire village. I've seen entire streets just filled with water and cars floating in the water like cinnamon toast crunch. Yeah, and the reason I say, Bob, the reason I bring it up, like, hey, I'm saying years before you're gonna have to do it anyway. Might want to move and be my neighbor, because I'm telling you, Fever is gonna be good. The Pacers are gonna be good. Colts are gonna be good. Hmm. You're gonna see me at them games. That's gonna be my shtick. Is that I'm like a sports fan slash coach and the founder of the American Socialist Party. Yeah, I'm allowed to be a sports fan too. Sports is what makes America great. Here's Rep. Greg Kaser from Texas. Some Mother Nature's mad. Yeah, she is. She's bucking. I also want to make sure that we say we gotta continue to protest artificial intelligence. Um, if you run into someone that brings up artificial intelligence before they bring up a calculator or Excel, you've run into a sucker. Full blown. Yeah. Yeah. So scary because you can't control it, right? Right. Like I was kind of joking with myself. I just spent thousands of dollars, right, to have the trees in my yard trimmed to reduce the risk of the trees collapsing on the roof of my house. And I look out every day and I'm like, half this tree is hanging directly over my roof. It's been like that for how long? What the fuck? And I'm talking like 30 feet over my house. Meaning, if that fucking thing falls on my house, oh, it's taking out my garage. Oh, for sure. For sure. Especially because there's multiple. Hmm. You said move west is like 14. Yeah. Yeah. If you live in like the middle stripe of the country, you're probably pretty good. Although, I would point that Tornado Alley has shifted along the Mississippi. So that everyone understands historically, and please correct me when I'm wrong, Tornado Alley runs north south with a little bit of an eastern tilt west of Mississippi historically. And now that has moved to where it's along the Mississippi. From what I understand, is now Tornado Alley. And only to use that as it has moved. Because then the belt along the south is a heat belt. Like this is me saying way before it matters. In my lifetime, most of Florida, most of the coasts of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, most of the Texas coast, most of the the eastern seaboard, the west coast, all uninhabitable in my lifetime because of the ocean sea level rise. And one of the things that we're not talking about that we need to start talking about is white Europeans immigrating to the United States. Europe Europe is in the middle of a like a life altering heat wave. And you got to understand in some places in the world they don't have AC. See, here's the thing. People say the American dream is dead. Let me explain. The American dream is having a roof over your head with air conditioning and a place that you can smoke weed without going to jail. Okay? That's and be drunk. You can be drunk in your own abode and not go to jail for it. Okay? Write down 70